What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Dave. Oh shit. I almost dropped this. Take two. Uh, okay, hold on. Let me get right. Let me get right. What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Dave B. You can watch the Dave B on TV where we go beyond the everyday bullshit that people be consuming on a day-to-day basis. And today, I want to talk a little bit about this transition into Aries. Just kind of a word of advice. Well, I don't really like to say it's advice, but this is just something to keep in mind. Hold on. Thought it was raining. But it's something to keep in mind for when this energy transfers into Aries season, because you know the difference between Aries and Pisces, or that transition, is all about, you know, transmuting that collective love into self-love, right? That self-love, when distorted, can become extremely selfish, extremely aggressive, but aggressive because of the sensitivity. You know, Aries, you know, they'll tell you, or the real ones will tell you, they sensitive as hell, because everything affects their emotions and feelings, but they're the spark, so they got to show you how much it affected them. And even if it's in a way that you don't really get it, like for instance, Aries might act out in an aggressive nature, right? But the whole time they just be hurt. You know what I'm saying? It don't actually be something that the action that they take might not resemble somebody whose feelings are hurt, but that's what it is at the end of the day, right? And not to just pick on Aries for having hurt feelings. I mean, we all have feelings that can be hurt, but you know, Aries are extremely sensitive because they're not only like fire signs and water signs. We both sensitive. It's just fire signs will slap you upside the head if you actually make them feel vulnerable, if you put them in their feelings too much, you know what I'm saying? Or if they don't know how to actually exert that energy, they'll, you know, do shit like they might cry and shit like that. That's just because all of that pent up energy is it has nowhere to go. Like a fire sign that cries a lot is just a fire sign that probably doesn't have as many outlets to express themselves. You know, a water sign that cry a lot, well, that's just a water sign for you. You know what I'm saying? Because they like to dwell into emotion. So a water sign that cries is probably just an individual who doesn't, well, you know what I'm saying? That's, like I said, that's more normal. But like, it's just a matter of pent up emotion. Whenever you got pent up emotion and maybe you don't have a sufficient way. I don't want to say sufficient, because there ain't nothing wrong with crying. Because sometimes you gotta cry. And you can cry for good things and positive things. Crying is just having a pent up emotion. You know what I'm saying? But if you're powerful, you can make that a choice. AKA, you cry when you want to. You don't cry all the time when there's negative shit going on. You can cry at the sheer beauty of life. You know what I'm saying? Just because you feel so blissful at the moment, and you can create tears of joy and shit like that. And that's powerful. A lot more powerful than a lot of other things in this world. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. But what I'm talking about specifically, excuse me real quick. Whew. What I'm talking about really, as far as this transition of energy, is like, you got to understand, look, don't be afraid to recognize when you're not getting what you deserve out of a certain relationship, partnership, whatever it may be. This is a concept that, I don't know, just been kind of coming back and back and back. It's like, look, some people's best just ain't good enough for you. You know what I'm saying? And that's got to be okay. You don't have to play on that, AKA you walk around like an asshole or a dickhead, like, oh yeah, well, I'm the, you know what I'm saying, arrogant and shit like that, and your ego and shit like that, because your best ain't good for everybody either. Your best ain't good enough for some people either. So you have to have some level of overstanding when it comes to just the fact that, look, in life, like, you have to be real with yourself, and you have to be real with the people that you're interacting with. Sometimes people's best just ain't up to your standard, but you have to have the will and the is another word I want to say, but I'm not going to take it to the 8th house. But you got to have the will, the will to say no. Like, I'm not finna just submit and accept that that which isn't up to my standard. And you have to be willing to demand that and stand in that ground. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people know that they not getting what they deserve, but they choose to just kind of let shit pass for the sake of trying to be harmonious or whatever. And this is that whole opposition between Aries and Libra. You know, I like to talk about oppositions a lot because it gives you a full idea of a spectrum. I feel like all signs have a relationship with one another, right? Based upon alignments and things of that nature. And these come with stories and like just the travel of light, how it went from Aries to Pisces and back again. You know what I'm saying? Light just going into the same space over and over again. You know what I'm saying? This is even like when we start talking about letters and numbers, you know what I'm saying? It's just space moving. You know what I'm saying? So like when you really look at it and understand that everything has a relation to one another. So I like to look at oppositions because this lets you know a full spectrum, a 180 degree, 180 degree from 0 to 180 spectrum. This is like cutting right down the middle, a reflection, a full reflection, you know what I'm saying, a full reflection of a certain energy. And through that reflection, you get to see, you know, how the positive attributes and the negative attributes of one can balance out and actually complete the other, you know what I'm saying, on that spectrum too, the negative and positive spectrums on the other. So whereas between Aries and Libra, you know what I'm saying, the strong side of an Aries is like we just talked about, you know, being the spark, you know what I'm saying, being the spark, being the inspiration, expressing how one feels without remorse, but to the point of claiming what it deserves, you know what I'm saying, to the extreme of self-love and just saying, look, this is what the fuck I provide for the table, and this is what I demand, and I demand this in order to, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, to the point where Aries don't even care what they get, they just know they're gonna get what they get. It's like Aries don't even look at it like that, you know what I'm saying, but on a you know, when it comes down to it, it's like they look at it like, look, I am who I am, and that's just the end of the conversation, you know. And then on the other side, the Libra, and yeah, the negative side of Aries would be childish, you know what I'm saying? Someone who is hyper aggressive, but to no point, you know what I'm saying? Just somebody who just angry all the time, but it's not out of self-love, it's out of lack of self-love, aka it's like you feel like things like motherfuckers owe you, or you feel like you have to scream in order to get your point across, and that always makes you look like the smaller person whenever you feel like you have to be the loudest in the room. The loudest in the room is often the one who, you know, has the least to offer. You know what I'm saying? You just talking a big game because you know that you got to compensate for something that you don't have. Now, going to Libra, the 180 degree spectrum, this is being diplomatic. This is being relatable, able to ingratiate yourself with many different kinds of people and understand the relations between that, and knowing how to put your own selfish need to be seen to the side for the sake of a group thriving. You know what I'm saying? So that's like the positive attributes, but the negative is being too passive and things of that nature and shit like that. Allowing things to kind of go under the radar for the sake of being harmonious, allowing others to kind of step on your toes when you're the one who actually deserves to shine in that moment, or having the self-inspiration, not lacking the self-inspiration or the self-motivation to do something on your own, regardless if people are green lighting it or alongside with you or not. So when you balance the two, you get a very headstrong leader who's able to not only play the part of the crusader, but also, as people agree to align with that singular vision, you're able to kind of take yourself out of that selfish seat and feed your people. And this is actually like the whole dichotomy of actually being a leader. You know what I'm saying? Really, when you look at all the cardinal points together, that's actually the full spectrum of being a leader. But for the sake of this video, just talking about Aries and Libra, that's kind of how you, that's an easy way to kind of get the full spectrum between those two energies that actually provides quite a strong balance. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I look at a lot of this life shit as a need for balance. A lot of times when things aren't going right in your life, it's because you're playing too heavy into a specific energy, and things start to make a little more sense when you balance things. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you too far on one spectrum, 9 times out of 10 you're going overboard and you're lacking moderation, and so that creates problems on its own. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be aware of that. But I say all that to say that with this new energy coming in, you know what I'm saying, the transition from Pisces to Aries, this is us. Okay, like I said in the other video that's on YouTube, I'm probably gonna post it before I post this. I'm gonna post this on IG. So what's happening right now is, like, you know, all this energy that we've been cultivating within our dream world, we have to actually initiate this into reality. But before it gets into reality, we have to show for it. You know what I'm saying? Reality won't come till Taurus season. So we still in this imagination state, but this is actually us getting and embodying whatever it is that we were dreaming about. So don't forget to get up and actually move. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of the whole theme of this time. And Mars is kind of helping us being in Gemini, even though it's creating a little square. Cause like right now we at like 28, maybe 29 degrees Pisces. So like we really feeling the cusp. So we starting to get a little steamy. These imaginations and dreams are starting to kind of stir up some kind of motivation in us. Don't fall on the other the negative spectrum of that inspiration and turn it into anxiety because you're procrastinating. Whew. Excuse me. I've been doing that a lot lately. Woo. You know what I'm saying? That woo energy. The woo. We're going to explore that later. But, you know, on some real shit, it's like, look, it's like right now we getting hit with that energy. So don't fall victim to letting that inspiration turn into anxiety, because anxiety will start to paralyze you. And this ain't the time to be paralyzed. This is springtime. We got to spring into action. We got to get up and do something about the things that we've been dreaming about. But like I said, Mars is helping us, because right now Mars being in Gemini is forcing us to learn about these passions and motivations. And you got to keep in mind, Mercury is now in Pisces as well. So our minds, wherever our minds is in a dream state right now. So it's like, it's not the time to be super real, right? It's not the time to be super realistic. You still want to not go too far off the handle. This ain't the time to be so pressed about reality. This is actually the time to construct your reality. And back to what I was saying about Mars right now. Mars is helping us, giving our passions and motivations the ability to get up and be a lot more mobile. So right, with our passions in general, we feel a lot more mobile and social about talking about them. But you know, of course, you don't want to get lost in just talking about it. But as the sun slides into Aries, we'll get that opportunity to actually know how to communicate our passions and know how to go about these passions in a way that actually can be logistic. You know what I'm saying? Have some kind of form of logic. You know what I'm saying? So we won't just be all fire. It won't just be all passion. It won't, you know what I'm saying? This actually has the opportunity to be a transit that's a lot less destructive and a lot more constructive, because whenever, you know, fire by itself can be very destructive. Now, fire with air can be destructive as well. That's on the negative side of things, aka now you have a nasty way of communicating about things, or you're communicating with too much fire, and you letting that fire catch wind. And you know, fire that catches wind can start a forest fire and things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? Or you can use this to direct your fire in a way that actually benefits it benefits the spread of your vision. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like when fire and air link up, that's your vision having the ability to be mobile, but not just mobile for the sake of it. Mobile in the sense of it has a direction, especially with Aries. Aries is a spark in itself, but when you have a spark and you have some air that can carry it, such as Gemini, who can take that one spark but now create multiple ways in which that spark can be communicated. So this is like that spark starting and then having direct lines to shoot that fire into specific spaces. Like it's like now that fire is able to travel more effectively. And then also on the other spectrum, we still got some energy going on. We got Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius, so that's fixed. So it has also the opportunity to have some kind of structure to it as well, some kind of fixed nature, that you're not just starting a bunch of new shit with that Aries fire. You know what I'm saying? You might get the feeling like you want to just start a bunch of new shit, but at least with Jupiter and Saturn there, you want to make sure whatever it is that you build in, you concentrate on a fixed idea, so that way that fire doesn't become too scattered. You know what I'm saying? Fire, the Aries and Gemini can make it very scattered, you know, which is beneficial for getting the vision out and getting it into many different people's faces. But you want to make sure you still also use the opportunity on the other end of Aquarius to make sure it's a fixed idea, so that people actually have a point of reference or a focal point in which that vision can be expressed and conveyed through. You know what I'm saying? So that now people don't just look at you like, oh, this is a person who got too much energy, too many visions, too many hands and too many pots. No, you got a lot of different ways to communicate a vision, but it's the same fixed vision. So anyway, I hope that was helpful, and I will catch up with y'all on the next one. Peace out, and much love and power to whatever you are manifesting. You're gonna get that shit. So believe in yourself. Peace.